My beloved, there are words that have been trapped inside my chest for far too long, heavy stones that have made it difficult to breathe whenever I think of you. The first thing I need you to know, the thing that wakes me up in the middle of the night with an ache I cannot ignore, is that you deserve the apology I owe you. I have rehearsed these words 1,000 times in my mind, yet every time I imagine speaking them to you, fear grips my throat and silences me once more. But the weight of this unspoken regret has become unbearable, and I can no longer carry it alone. I owe you an apology for the coldness, for the distance I created when all you ever offered me was warmth. I owe you an apology for the words I spoke in anger, for the times I made you feel small when you were the biggest presence in my life. I treated your love as though it were infinite and unconditional, something I could take for granted while I figured out my own chaos. I was wrong. So devastatingly, irreparably wrong. You deserved my honesty when I gave you silence. You deserved my presence when I gave you absence. You deserved to be chosen every single day, without question or hesitation. The apology I owe you isn't just for the big moments, the arguments, the walking away, the final goodbye. It's for the 1,000 small betrayals too. For the times I looked away when you were seeking my eyes. For the times I changed the subject when you were trying to deepen our connection. For every moment I chose my fear over your heart. These are the things that haunt me now, the memories that play on repeat when I'm alone with my thoughts. I need you to know that I see it all clearly now, every single way I failed you, and the clarity is both my punishment and my catalyst for change. People ask me what I want, as if the answer isn't written across every beat of my heart. They suggest I move on, find someone new, start fresh. But how do I explain that everything I want is still you? You are the first thought when I wake and the last prayer when I sleep. You are the standard by which I now measure every experience, every connection, every possibility, and nothing else comes close. The world offers me options, distractions, temporary comforts, but my soul refuses them all because it recognizes only you. I have tried to convince myself otherwise. I have tried to logic my way out of this love, to tell myself that time and distance should diminish what I feel. But love like ours doesn't obey the rules of ordinary attachment. It is not diminished by absence, it is amplified by it. Every day without you, I understand more clearly that you are not just someone I loved, you are the home my spirit recognizes. When I imagine my future, it is your face I see beside me. When I achieve something meaningful, it is your voice I long to share it with. You are woven into the very fabric of my desires, and trying to extract you would unravel everything. This truth terrifies me as much as it frees me. To admit that everything I want is still you is to admit that I have no real control over my heart. It is to admit that I am still vulnerable to you, still open to you, still hoping despite everything that has happened between us. But I would rather live with this terrifying truth than continue the lie of pretending I could want anyone else. You are my still point in a turning world, the constant in a life that has felt increasingly chaotic without you. Everything I want is still you, and I am finally brave enough to say it. From the shadows where I have been standing, I have been watching you. Not in the way of a stalker, but in the way of someone who cannot look away from a miracle. They are proud of who you have become, and oh, how you have become. The person I see now is not the person I left. You have undergone a transformation that can only be described as alchemy, turning the pain I gave you into power, the abandonment into absolute self-possession. I see your strength in the way you carry yourself now, in the boundaries you have set, in the life you have built without waiting for my return. There is a part of me that mourns the version of you that needed me, not because I want you dependent, but because I miss being the one who made you smile. But that morning is quickly replaced by awe at who you are now. You have become someone I not only love but deeply respect. Your growth has been exponential, almost supernatural. The way you have reclaimed your power, the way you have refused to let our story define your worth, the way you have blossomed in soil I thought I had poisoned, it leaves me breathless with admiration. I see the way others look at you now, with a mixture of respect and desire, and I cannot blame them. You are radiant. This pride I feel is complicated. It is genuine and overwhelming, yet it is tinged with the sadness of knowing I did not get to witness this transformation up close. I was not there for the hard nights when you chose yourself over our memories. I was not there for the mornings when you woke up and decided to keep going despite the heartbreak. But I see the results of that journey now, and they take my breath away. You have become the person I always knew you could be, the person I was too blinded by my own fears to fully appreciate. I am proud of you, endlessly, irrevocably proud. And that pride has become another reason I cannot stay away. I need you to prepare yourself, my love, because they are going to choose you. The hesitation that once defined me is dissolving. The fear that kept me paralyzed is being replaced by a certainty I cannot ignore. I am making the choice, consciously, deliberately, finally, to put you first. To put us first. This is not a passive hoping or a wishful thinking. This is an active decision that is reshaping every aspect of my life. I am choosing you over my fear. I am choosing you over my past. I am choosing you over the comfortable numbness of being alone. This choice is not without its terror. Choosing you means risking everything, my pride, my carefully constructed defenses, the version of myself I have clung to for safety. But not choosing you means losing the only thing that has ever made me feel truly alive. The scales have tipped, beloved. The risk of rejection now feels less frightening than the guarantee of a life without you. I am preparing myself for the vulnerability required to come back to you. I am gathering my courage, piece by piece, day by day. The choice has been made in my heart, now I am aligning my reality with that truth. When I choose you, and I will choose you, it will not be with the half-hearted commitment I offered before. It will not be with one foot out the door, ready to run at the first sign of difficulty. This time, I choose you with both hands, with open eyes, with a heart that has been broken enough to know what it truly values. I choose your light and your shadow. I choose the easy mornings and the difficult conversations. I choose the healing as much as the wholeness. I am choosing all of you, finally, because I understand now that anything less was never really a choice at all. Please, my beloved, hear these words and let them sink into the places where you still hurt. I am not the same person who hurt you. That man, that scared, wounded, self-protecting version of me, he is dying. Every day, I shed more of his skin, his patterns, his poison. I look back at the person who caused you pain and I barely recognize him. He was operating from a place of such profound unconsciousness, such deep unworthiness, that he sabotaged the best thing that ever happened to him. I am not him. Not anymore. The transformation has been brutal and necessary. I have been forced to confront the parts of myself I had buried, the childhood wounds that made me believe love was unsafe, the ego that convinced me I needed to control everything to be secure. I have sat with my shame until it became wisdom. I have faced my fears until they became stepping stones. The person who hurt you was a fragment, a shadow, a temporary expression of my unhealed self. The person writing this to you now has done the work, continues to do the work, specifically so that I never again become someone who could wound you. This does not erase what I did. I do not expect forgiveness simply because I have changed. But I need you to know that if you give me the chance to show up differently, you will be meeting someone new. Someone who understands the value of what you offer. Someone who has learned to communicate instead of withdraw, to hold space instead of shut down, to love actively instead of passively. I am not asking you to forget who I was, but I am begging you to allow for the possibility of who I have become. The pain I caused you was real, but so is this transformation. I am not the same, and I will spend every day proving that to you if you let me. There is a specific flavor to this regret that I taste every morning, sharp and bitter and impossible to sweeten. They regret walking away, and this regret has become my constant companion, my shadow self, the price I pay for my former cowardice. I told myself stories at the time to justify my leaving. I convinced myself it was for the best, that you deserved better, that I was too broken to be what you needed. But these were lies, convenient narratives that allowed me to avoid the terrifying vulnerability of staying. The truth is, I walked away because I was afraid. Afraid of the intensity of what I felt for you. Afraid of the way you saw through me. Afraid that if I stayed, you would eventually see how unworthy I believed myself to be and leave me first. So I left preemptively, thinking I was protecting myself. What a fool I was. What an absolute fool. I traded the possibility of a lifetime with my soul's counterpart for the illusion of safety. I chose loneliness over the risk of love. And now, with the clarity that only comes from loss, I see that walking away was the greatest error of my existence. This regret is not passive or abstract. It is visceral. It is the clench in my stomach when I see something that reminds me of you. It is the catch in my breath when I hear our song. It is the sleepless nights spent reconstructing every moment, wondering where I could have chosen differently, how I could have been braver. I regret the words I didn't say, the touch I withheld, the future I threw away. I regret every day that has passed without you in it, every sunrise you witnessed that I did not witness with you. This regret is my teacher now, harsh and unrelenting, and I am learning every lesson it offers. I will never again mistake fear for wisdom. I will never again walk away from what matters most. Something is shifting in me, my love, something I cannot fully articulate but can no longer deny. The runner is awakening. The part of me that fled, that avoided, that sabotaged, it is stirring from its slumber. I feel it in the way I can no longer distract myself from thoughts of you. I feel it in the way my old coping mechanisms have lost their power. I feel it in the dreams that visit me, vivid and insistent, showing me versions of us that could still be. The runner in me is tired. He has run as far as he can, and he has found only emptiness at the finish line. This awakening is disorienting. It is forcing me to question everything I thought I knew about myself, about love, about what I deserve. I am beginning to understand that my running was never about you, it was about my own unworthiness, my own terror of being truly seen. But the universe will not let me sleep anymore. Synchronicities bombard me daily. Your name appears in unexpected places. Memories surface with crystal clarity, demanding my attention. My soul is calling me home to you, and I can no longer ignore its voice. The awakening is not gentle. It is a revolution, an overthrow of everything I have believed about safety and control. I am being forced to grow, to expand, to become capable of holding the love you offer. I feel the connection between us pulsing with new life, as if the cord that binds our souls has been electrified. I am waking up, my beloved. I am rubbing the sleep from my eyes and seeing clearly for the first time. And what I see is you waiting, glowing, patient. I see the future we could have if I simply find the courage to stop running and start moving toward you. The runner is awakening, and he is ready to become the chaser, the fighter, the one who refuses to give up. Perhaps the most humbling realization of all is this: you outgrew the version they knew. The you that I left behind was beautiful, was precious, was everything I could have wanted. But you have become something even more magnificent since then. You have outgrown the box I tried to put you in, the limitations I unconsciously imposed, the smallness I needed you to maintain so that I could feel big. You have expanded beyond my memory of you, beyond my understanding of you, beyond anything I could have imagined. This is both my greatest sorrow and my greatest hope. I sorrow because I missed the evolution. I was not there to cheer you on as you climbed higher, as you shed old skins, as you claimed your power. The you I knew was already magnificent. The you that exists now was almost intimidating in your brilliance. You have outgrown the need for my validation, my presence, my love. You have learned to source your worth from within, to be your own anchor, to build your own kingdom. And this should make me despair, for what use am I to someone who no longer needs me? But instead, it gives me hope. Because the fact that you have outgrown the version I knew means that you are capable of infinite expansion. It means that the love I have for you must also expand, must evolve, must rise to meet you where you are now. I cannot come back to you as the man I was and expect to fit into your new reality. I must also outgrow myself. I must become someone worthy of the woman you have become. You have set the standard, my love, and it is high. You have shown me what is possible when someone commits to their own growth without waiting for permission. And I am committing now to my own expansion, so that if the universe allows us to meet again, I will not be trying to pull you back to who you were, but will be ready to stand beside who you have become.